Beneath the surface of our planet, far below the waves you see every day, there is a world humans were never meant to enter. Not because it is hidden, but because it is hostile. As you move deeper into the ocean, the light begins to disappear. Colors fade, sound changes. At a few hundred meters down, sunlight becomes weak. At 1,000 meters, the sun is gone forever. Below this point, there is no morning, no evening, only darkness. The pressure here is not something you can feel. It is something that destroys. Enough force to crush metal. Enough weight to break bones instantly. If a human body entered this place unprotected, it would not survive even a moment. And yet, something lives here. Not plants, not familiar animals. Life that moves without light. Life that hunts without sight. Life that follows rules we do not understand. We have sent machines to Mars. We have photographed galaxies billions of kilometers away. But this world, on our own planet, remains mostly untouched. More than 80% of the deep ocean has never been explored. And every time we look deeper, we find something new. Something strange. Something that should not exist, but does. This is not a story about monsters. This is a story about a place where life learned to survive without us. When we think about the ocean, we imagine sunlight, blue water, waves, fish moving freely near the surface. From above, the ocean looks alive, friendly, almost welcoming. Sunlight reaches the top layers of water, feeding tiny plants called plankton. These plants feed small fish. Small fish feed bigger ones. This is the ocean we believe we know. But this picture is incomplete, because the surface is not the ocean. It is only the skin. As we move deeper, the rules begin to change. Light does not disappear suddenly. It weakens. Colors fade one by one. Red disappears first, then orange, then yellow. At around 200 meters below the surface, sunlight becomes too weak to support plants. This is where the green world ends. No forests, no algae fields, no food made from light. Everything below this point survives on what falls from above. Tiny particles, dead remains, waste drifting slowly downward. Scientists call it marine snow. To us, it looks like dust. To life below, it is everything. This is the moment when the ocean stops being familiar. Because now, life is no longer powered by the sun. It is powered by leftovers. And in this quiet darkness, something is waiting. What lives here has never seen the surface. Until now, the ocean has been quiet, dark, empty. But this is where that feeling ends. At around 200 meters below the surface, the ocean enters a zone called the Twilight Zone. It is not bright, and it is not completely dark. It is a place where shapes move, but nothing is clear. Here light is too weak to trust. Shadows stretch, distances lie, and almost everything that lives here has learned the same lesson. Do not be seen. Because in the Twilight Zone, life does not wait for food. It hunts. Some creatures here are small. Some are thin like needles. Some have mouths so large they look impossible. Many of them have teeth you can see even when their bodies disappear. This is one of the strangest rules of the deep. Teeth reflect light. Bodies do not. So predators hide everything except the part that kills. Some hunters use light. Others use darkness. And some use both at the same time. A faint glow appears in the distance. It looks small, harmless. But light here is not safety. It is a signal, a trap. And by the time prey understands this, it is already too late. In this zone, survival belongs to the invisible. And the deeper you go, the better they become at hiding. This is the last place where light still exists. Below this, even shadows disappear. At 1,000 meters, something final happens. The last trace of sunlight dies. From this point forward, there is no difference between closing your eyes and opening them. This is the midnight zone, a place that stretches from 1,000 meters down to 4,000 meters below the surface. Here, the temperature hovers just above freezing. The pressure is 100 times greater than at the surface. And yet, this darkness is not empty. It is crowded, packed with life that operates on principles we are only beginning to understand. In the blackness, a shape moves slowly, long, serpentine, barely visible. This is the dragonfish, and it possesses something almost no other creature in the deep has: red light. Most bioluminescence in the ocean glows blue or green, because these colors travel farthest through water. But the dragonfish produces red light from specialized organs beneath its eyes. Here's what makes this extraordinary. Most deep sea creatures cannot see red. Their eyes evolved in a world where red light does not exist. To them, red is invisible, which means the dragonfish has invented something incredible. A flashlight that only it can see. It illuminates prey without revealing itself. A private spotlight in a world of blindness. But there is more. The dragonfish's teeth are transparent. They contain almost no minerals, so they do not reflect light. Even when it opens its mouth directly in front of prey, its jaws remain invisible. What prey sees is nothing. What happens next is death. Scientists still do not fully understand how the dragonfish evolved red bioluminescence, or why it is one of the only creatures capable of seeing it. This is predation as espionage, hidden in plain sight by a color that does not exist. At 1,500 meters, something drifts through the void. Small, no larger than a human fist. Its body is dark, compressed, efficient, but its mouth is wrong. The fangtooth fish has teeth so large they cannot fit inside its jaw. The longest fangs, proportional to body size, of any fish on Earth. When it closes its mouth, the teeth slot into special grooves on either side of its brain. If those grooves did not exist, the fangtooth would pierce its own skull. This is an animal designed by extremes. No wasted energy on beauty. No unnecessary features. Everything about it exists to do one thing: bite, and never let go. The fangtooth does not chase prey. It drifts, waiting. In the deep, speed costs too much energy, so it waits for something to come close. Then it strikes. Its jaw can open to an angle of 120 degrees, nearly dislocating to swallow prey larger than itself. Once its teeth sink in, there is no escape. The backward, curving fangs ensure that anything caught is pulled deeper into the throat with every struggle. Fangtooths are born near the surface. As juveniles, they look nothing like adults. Their bodies are pale, their eyes enormous. They drift in the twilight zone, feeding on plankton. But as they grow, something changes. Their bodies darken. Their eyes shrink. Their teeth grow longer and longer. By the time they descend into the midnight zone, they have transformed completely. From drifter to killer. From prey to predator. Scientists believe the fangtooth can detect vibrations in the water from more than a meter away. In total darkness, it does not need to see. It feels the movement of muscles, the faint displacement of water caused by a heartbeat. And when it feels that, it knows exactly where to strike. Deeper still, something hovers in the current, long, thin, almost skeletal. The viperfish. Its body is built like a weapon. Its spine can unhinge. Its ribs can flex outward. This allows it to swallow prey up to 60% of its own body length. But what makes the viperfish truly disturbing is its hunting method. It does not chase. It does not ambush. It lures. On the tip of its dorsal fin is a long, thin filament. At the end of that filament is a glowing organ called a photophore. The viperfish dangles this light in front of its face. In the absolute blackness, that tiny glow looks like food. A piece of bioluminescent plankton, a dying creature, something weak. When prey approaches, the viperfish does not move. It waits. Closer, closer. And then, faster than the eye can follow, it strikes. Its jaws snap forward. Its needle-like teeth pierce flesh. The prey is impaled before it even realizes the light was a lie. Here is what scientists found surprising. The viperfish's teeth are so long that when its mouth is closed, they extend past its lower jaw and curve backward toward its eyes. Some individuals have teeth so large they cannot fully close their mouths. This should be a disadvantage. But in the deep, it is not. Because nothing escapes those teeth once they make contact. Viperfish have been found with prey lodged in their throats, too large to swallow. And yet they do not starve. They wait. Their digestive enzymes slowly break down the victim from the inside. Even in death, the prey continues to feed the predator. This is patience as a survival strategy. This is hunger that does not rush. At 2,000 meters, the water is heavier, colder, more still. Here, food is so rare that predators cannot afford to be picky. The gulper eel understands this. Its body is long, whip-like, almost weightless, but its mouth is grotesque, enormous. The jaw of the gulper eel can open wide enough to swallow prey larger than its entire body. Its stomach stretches, its skin expands. When it feeds, it does not look like an eel. It looks like a sack, a loose bag of flesh holding something that should not fit. But here's what makes the gulper eel truly bizarre. It does not hunt with speed or stealth. It hunts with raw volume. The eel swims slowly through the darkness with its mouth wide open. It is not targeting anything specific. It is simply dragging a net made of flesh through the water. Whatever drifts inside gets trapped. Scientists call this ram feeding. The gulper eel is one of the few deep sea creatures that uses this method. Because in the midnight zone, waiting for prey to come to you is not enough. You have to catch everything that passes. At the tip of its tail, the gulper eel has a glowing organ. No one knows exactly why. Some believe it lures prey toward the tail, distracting them while the mouth approaches from another angle. Others think it is a decoy, drawing predators away from the eel's fragile body. Or perhaps it is a signal to others of its kind. A way to communicate in a place where sight is useless. We do not know. And the gulper eel is not telling. And then, there is the anglerfish, perhaps the most famous, certainly the most disturbing. The female anglerfish is a hunter unlike any other. She does not chase. She does not search. She sits in the void, motionless, with a glowing lure dangling in front of her face. That lure is called an asca. It is a modified spine that extends from her forehead, tipped with a glowing bulb filled with bioluminescent bacteria. In the absolute blackness, that light is irresistible. Prey sees it, approaches, believes it has found food. But what it has found is a mouth. The anglerfish does not bite. She inhales. Her jaw expands. Her throat opens. Water rushes inward, dragging the prey with it. By the time the victim realizes the light was a trap, it is already inside. But the true horror of the anglerfish is not how she hunts. It is how she reproduces. Male anglerfish are born tiny, weak, almost useless. Their only purpose is to find a female. In the vast, endless darkness of the deep, this is nearly impossible. So when a male finally encounters a female, he does not leave. He bites into her flesh, and then he fuses. His mouth dissolves into her skin. His circulatory system merges with hers. His organs shut down one by one until all that remains is a small lump attached to her body. A living sperm bank, nourished by her blood, kept alive only to reproduce. Some females have been found with more than 6 males fused to their bodies. Parasitic husbands that gave up everything to survive. This is not partnership. This is biological surrender. And it is one of the most extreme forms of reproduction in the animal kingdom. At 600 meters, something watches. Its body is small, delicate, almost ghostly. But its eyes are impossible. The Barreleye fish has a transparent skull. You can see through its head. Inside, 2 green, glowing spheres stare upward. Those are its eyes. And they do not point forward. They point fey up. The Barreleye spends most of its life motionless, drifting in the twilight zone. Its eyes are locked in place, scanning the faint light above for silhouettes. When it detects movement, something incredible happens. The eyes rotate, forward, inside the skull. Without moving its head, the Barreleye can shift its gaze from upward to forward. This allows it to track prey while keeping its body perfectly still. No movement, no vibration. Just silent observation. Scientists discovered this ability only recently. For decades, preserved specimens in museums showed the Barreleye with eyes pointing up. Researchers assumed that was permanent. But in 2009, researchers captured live footage of a Barreleye in the deep, and they watched as the eyes moved. Smoothly, deliberately, rotating inside a skull made of transparent tissue. No one had ever seen anything like it. The Barreleye's transparent head is filled with fluid. This protects its delicate eyes from the stinging tentacles of siphonophores, jellyfish, like creatures that drift in the same zones. It steals food directly from their tendrils without being harmed. A thief with a C, through mask. Its name suggests terror. A Vampiroteuthis infernalis, a vampire squid from hell. But the vampire squid does not hunt, it does not kill. It survives on something most creatures would ignore: marine snow. The vampire squid drifts at depths between 600 and 900 meters, in a zone where oxygen is so low that most animals cannot survive. Its blood contains hemocyanin with the highest oxygen binding efficiency of any known cephalopod. It can extract oxygen from water where others would suffocate. When threatened, the vampire squid does not flee. It turns itself inside out. Its webbed arms fold backward over its body, creating a defensive cloak covered in soft spines called asciri. These spines glow faintly, creating a confusing display of lights that disorients predators. If that does not work, it releases a cloud of bioluminescent mucus. Not ink. Glowing particles that hang in the water like a constellation. While the predator is distracted by the lights, the vampire squid disappears into the darkness. But here is what makes it truly unique. The vampire squid has two thin, retractable filaments. These are covered in sticky hairs. It extends them into the current and waits. When particles of marine snow, dead plankton, fecal matter, detritus, drift past, they stick to the filaments. The squid retracts the filaments, scrapes off the collected particles, and eats them. This is not hunting. This is patience. This is survival on scraps. And in the deep, where food is more precious than light, this strategy works. For centuries, sailors told stories. Stories of monsters rising from the deep. Tentacles longer than ships. Eyes the size of dinner plates. Beaks that could crush bone. For centuries, scientists called these stories myths, legends, exaggerations from men who spent too long at sea. But the sailors were right. At depths between 300 and 1,000 meters, something enormous moves through the darkness. The giant squid. Architeuthis ducks. It can grow up to 13 meters long. Its arms stretch. Its tentacles reach even farther. Two feeding tentacles can extend suddenly, shooting forward to grab prey from distances of up to 10 meters away. At the end of those tentacles are clubs, covered in suckers, and inside each sucker are teeth. Serrated rings of chitin that dig into flesh and hold on. Once the giant squid grabs something, escape is almost impossible. But here is what makes the giant squid truly mysterious. We have almost never seen one alive. Despite being one of the largest invertebrates on Earth, despite living in every ocean, we have only a handful of recordings. A few minutes of footage, a few grainy photographs. The rest of what we know comes from dead specimens. Corpses washed ashore, bodies found floating, or remains pulled from the stomachs of sperm whales. Because the giant squid has a predator, the only animal on Earth large enough and strong enough to hunt it. Sperm whales dive deep, deeper than almost any other mammal. They descend into the midnight zone hunting giant squid. And when they return to the surface, their skin tells the story. Circular scars, some the size of dinner plates, sucker marks from tentacles that fought back. Scientists have found giant squid beaks lodged in whale throats, tentacle fragments in whale stomachs. Evidence of battles that happen in total darkness, thousands of meters below the surface, where no human has ever witnessed them. But the giant squid is not just a victim. Its eyes are the largest of any animal on Earth. Each eye can be up to 30 centimeters across, larger than a human head. These eyes evolved for one purpose: to detect faint movements in near total darkness, to see the shadow of a whale descending from above. The giant squid's eye can gather light more efficiently than almost any other structure in nature. In the deep, where a single photon matters, this is survival. But here is what we still do not understand. How do giant squid find each other? How do they reproduce in the endless void? We have never observed giant squid mating. We have never seen a juvenile in the wild. We do not know how long they live. We do not know how many exist. Every year more questions. Every year, almost no answers. The giant squid remains one of the ocean's greatest mysteries. Not because it is rare, but because it lives in a place we cannot follow. And when it dies, it sinks down, into depths where even its body disappears. And then, there is something stranger. Something that should not be real. In the year 2000, researchers dropped a camera into the deep, 4,000 meters down, in the abyssal zone, where the seafloor stretches flat and lifeless in every direction. The camera captured something moving. At first, they thought it was debris, a piece of rope drifting in the current. But then it moved. Deliberately, what they were seeing was an animal, a squid. But not like any squid ever recorded. Its body was small, pale, almost ghostly. But its arms were impossibly long, thin as threads, stretching down toward the seafloor like the roots of a floating tree. Some of the arms measured over 8 meters long, 26 feet, attached to a body the size of a soccer ball. This was the Bigfin squid. And in the decades since, we have seen it only a few more times, always at extreme depths, always alone, always moving in the same strange way. The Bigfin squid does not swim like other squid. It does not pulse through the water. It drifts. Its body remains still, upright, hovering in the water column. Its long, thread-like arms hang straight down, forming a living net that can span more than 8 meters from top to bottom. Scientists call this posture elbow position, because the arms bend at sharp angles, like elbows locked in place. No other squid does this. No other animal in the deep uses this hunting strategy. We believe the Bigfin squid is fishing. Its arms drift through the current, covered in tiny suckers. When something touches those arms, a shrimp, a small fish, a piece of drifting organic matter, the suckers grab it. Then, slowly, the arm bends. It pulls the prey upward, segment by segment, toward the squid's mouth. This is not active hunting. This is passive collection. A living trap that spans the height of a 2-story building. But here is what disturbs scientists the most. We do not know what species it is. Every Bigfin squid ever observed looks slightly different. Different arm lengths, different body shapes, different sizes. Some researchers believe we are looking at multiple species. Others think we are seeing different life stages of the same animal, or different sexes. We do not know, because we have never captured one. Every specimen ever collected has been damaged. Fragments. Pieces. The arms are so delicate that bringing them to the surface destroys them. They disintegrate under their own weight. What we see in the deep is a body held together by water pressure and darkness. At the surface, it falls apart. And so the Bigfin squid remains mostly unknown. We do not know how it reproduces. We do not know what it eats, beyond guesses. We do not know how long it lives, or how deep it can go, or whether the individuals we have seen represent the full size of the species. Some scientists believe the Bigfin squid could grow even larger, much larger, with arms stretching 15, 20, maybe 30 meters into the void, but we have no proof. Only shadows on cameras. Only brief glimpses of something that looks like it evolved on another planet. The Bigfin squid does not look like it belongs in Earth's oceans. It looks like something that learned to survive by breaking every rule we know. Long, fragile arms that should snap under pressure. A body that hovers without effort in a place where most animals sink or swim. A hunting method that relies on patience in a world where food is so rare that patience should be fatal. And yet it survives. Alone, silent, drifting through the abyss like a ghost with 26-foot fingers, waiting for something, anything, to brush against its arms. This is life at the edge of understanding. This is evolution without witnesses. And every time we send a camera into the deep, there is a chance we will see it again, hanging in the darkness, arms spread wide, waiting. The deep does not give up its secrets easily. The giant squid, massive and ancient, battles whales in darkness and leaves only scars as evidence. The Bigfin squid, delicate and strange, drifts through the abyss like a creature from another world. Both are real. Both are alive, and both remind us of the same truth. We do not know what else is down there. We have only seen fragments, glimpses, shadows moving past cameras in places where humans can never go. And every time we look deeper, we find something that should not exist, but does.